Coach, if you want to open with comment, and then we'll take questions.
Well, obviously it was a hard-fought game. I think the game was played at a pretty high level for lovers of college basketball. Another great environment, I think, and I think our guys handled it, really well. The notion of embracing the challenge, I thought we handled that part of it, pretty well. And just proud of the effort.
Reggie, you talked about being able to win in different ways after Friday night's win over Manhattan. You get 13 points from Jabril off the bench, and in the second part to that, 6 turnovers against an Iona team that gets out in transition. How critical was that to the game plan, and about Jabril, how pleased are you with his effort?
Well, I think, both. Having Jabril give us the energy he did off the bench, it helps because the game was moving so fast at such a high pace, and you really need that energy off the bench. You need guys that can take a pretty heavy load of minutes, and he took on a pretty good inventory of those for us and was productive in them. And I think, you really do against a team like this, those turnovers turn into touchdowns against a team like this, so you have to really limit them, and we did a pretty good job of that today.
Reggie, can you flash back to the preseason? You picked 9th in the preseason poll, and now sitting alone in first place, having beaten Iona twice. What does it say about the progress the team has made?
Well, I think it's good, obviously, but I think we do have a pretty long way to go. We're not even at the halfway point in terms of games played. Iona's the only team now that we've played twice, and then there are a couple of teams, I think at least 3, that we haven't seen, we haven't played. So it's not even February 1st, so it's pretty early, but obviously we'd rather be in this situation than any other spot. So we have, what it says is we have something to build on.
Jermaine, you've been at this a while now. With varying success over the years, what has this year been like for you to have so much success so early?
Oh, it feels good. It just shows that hard work pays off. It's great great. We got a great group of guys. We come in, we work, and to see that hard work pay off is unbelievable. And me being a senior and just trying to be a leader that this team needs, and just try to be the guy that the freshmen and younger guys can look up to.
Jermaine, you've seen Isaiah develop from a freshman last year off the bench, making an impact now as a sophomore and a starter to maybe a player of the year contender halfway through the conference season. What about him has changed this offseason going into his sophomore year that has really stood out?
I seen it last year when he was a freshman. He's a tremendous player. He do it on both ends of the floor, and not only scoring wise, he gets his teammates involved, and he's gonna be a tough player in this league, for years to come. And I just tell him, carry us, we're gonna follow your lead and things like that, and just tell him how good he is.
Coach, with that 150 on the alley-oop play, was that a called play?
Yeah.
From the bench or from the court?
From the bench. I was trying to decide how I could answer that without saying yes, but I can't lie. Yeah.
Was it because McGill was playing on the back line? You thought you had that shot?
No, it's a play that we had in. We had in, and we use it on occasion. But we had to use some timeouts earlier, and so now we have this play, but we don't have a timeout to set it up. So now you have to, Jesus, everybody know where to go. Can we get all lined up? This is Jabril's 4th or so game back with us, I think, and so he's, we've done it in practice a lot, but credit the guys for having enough poise to get it set up and then execute it.
It looked like it was a 1-3-1 that really got them back.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't score on that possession, maybe a different outcome.
Yeah, it's a play you don't want to have to call a lot. We'd rather not have had to call it, but if you are going to call it, the timing of it is important too. Because if you score on that play with 4 minutes to go, you still have a lot of game left. I think the timing of it, but at the same time, if you're running that play and you're down 6, it's not the same either. So, the timing of it was good, but the execution of it was outstanding. Won't go into the whole setup of it, but the execution was good. This guy here did a great job, and the other guys did a great job.
And just one more question. Earlier in the game, I think it was Reese taking it out of bounds, went deep to Johnson. Was that something those guys saw? Was that something you guys saw on the bench?
They saw it. They do things like that to. The first thing they're trying to do in a situation like that is to drive me crazy. If they get a chance to do that, they love doing that. And then the second thing is actually trying to score on it. But that's something that they have looked for a couple times, and I think that is one of the advantages of having 2 point guards on the floor. You know, both those guys have been point guards their whole lives, and they enjoy each other, they respect each other, and it's good to have that because it helps you in an area where you really can't turn the ball over. You have an extra ball handler on the court. It helps you possess the basketball and complete passes.
Thank you.
Jermaine, early in the game, you had a 14-2 run after Iona went ahead, and then I thought early in the second half, after Casimir got the three and you're only up by one, that you and Isaiah Reese both had made plays and got back out to a 4 or 5 point lead. Did you feel like you were able to always stay in control?
Yeah, but we really, you know, push ourselves on defense. Basically, you know, we was giving up a lot of easy baskets. We were trying to sprint back on defense, communicate, get back and load to the ball as far as, you know, stopping and not let them get run out layups and things like that and open shots. But you know, Isaiah made a good play and I made a good play. But it was something that we just like to execute. There's good execution on our behalf, and you know, we came out with the win.
Reggie, having gone on the road now, winning at Manhattan, winning here today, two very tough environments for visiting teams, how does that help prepare the team for what may lay ahead?
Well, I think it helps. We still, as I said, have a long way to go, but there's some tough places to play in this conference, and certainly these were two of the tougher ones. What happens though, you know, now every time you go somewhere, everybody's excited to see you, and so we have to take on a different presence of mind because of that. But it certainly helps you get in some. You know, people talk about us having a good start, and I said, well, we haven't had. There's a couple places we have not played at, and if you can go in there and play and then win and get those out of the way, it helps you because you know, for the most part, other than Siena, you don't typically go more than once to another team's building.
With that said, Reggie, to have a greater target on your back now, 7-1 leading the conference, going into a rivalry game with Niagara, what are you looking for from that one on Saturday?
Well, I'm certain that they'll be pumped up, and our guys are excited for that game. It'll be a charged up atmosphere, I'm certain. And it's going to be another opportunity for us to have some poise. And we talk about that all year long, sustained poise. And we'll certainly need to work on some things this week to get ourselves ready for that.
Gentlemen, thank you.